He said, just jump. Just leap. She didn't care if that when that lunchbox went out the thing, she didn't care if the juice was gonna be messed up. She didn't care. She was ready to go. Hey everybody, welcome to the Christyn Show. We are back. It was summer vacation. You know how it goes. You have kids. You got to give them all your attention, and they took every bit of it. And we had fun. We enjoyed our time. But now we're back. We're back to business. They're back in school, and that's what we're going to talk about today. This helped me get back into my groove. Let me just tell you a quick story. So, all my kids are in school. I don't know if I was ready. Thought I was ready. I said, I'm going to walk my last baby to school, and I'm going to walk her up her ramp into her school building, and I'm not going to cry. I told my friends, I'm not crying. I'm ready. She's ready. I'm ready. It's been a lot. I homeschooled last year with her. I'm ready. So we get up there, and it was good until I got back in that car and had an emotional breakdown after I dropped all of the kids off. But let me tell you about my baby. My last baby, my baby girl, my only girl. That girl was sent here for something. You hear me? Of course, all of them sent here for something. They sent here to be great. But this one, all of them are just for me, but this one different. I think the baby hit different, and then the little girls hit different. So, let me tell you. We walk up to the school. No, we don't walk up to the school. I'm getting out the car to help her get out, and let's walk you to the school and get you to your first day of school. And she's like, I said, let me help you get you out the car and get your backpack. She throw her lunchbox out the car. And I said, baby, let me help you. You know, you don't have to do all that. She said, Mommy, I need to be a big girl. I got to do this. And I'm looking like, okay, I'm not ready for big girl, but okay, you got to be a big girl. She got herself out the car, took her lunchbox, walked down the street, up the ramp, and she was ready. She went into the cafeteria, and she's like, bye, see you later. And I'm like, okay. I had to get back in that car, drop off by other babies, and we moved on. But the moment that kept sticking with me was, Mommy, I gotta go be a big girl. And all I could think was, I did everything I could do for her. It was time for her next level. It was time for her to move on. It was time for her to go to her next steps. And I heard God say, Jessica, it's time for you to be a big girl. It's time for you to get back to what you're supposed to be doing. You see, I'm here encouraging people and letting them know that it's going to be okay, that things do happen, and that you're not, once again, doing it alone. And before this day, I think the day before on Sunday, one of my friends asked some kids in the class who in the Sunday school class, if this was their first day of school, first time ever going to school. And of course, my baby girl raised her hand and say, this is my first time going to school. And then she asked everybody around, do you have any words of encouragement for her? And they raised their hand. And of course, her two brothers raised their hand, and they said, one of them said, make sure you make good friends. Make sure you have great friends around you. And maybe this is me extending it, but that was so good, because it was like, when you get into your next season, make sure that you're getting good people around you. Make sure that you have people that's going to encourage you to do good things, that's going to have the best for you in that season or in that time. And I was like, these babies giving some good advice, you know. And I was like, that's for me. In this season of me moving and doing the next thing, or the thing that I've already been doing, but just keep on doing it consistently like I supposed to. I had to make sure, like I always tell you, make sure you have great people in your space. Make sure you have people that's encouraging you. Make sure you have people that's getting on you and saying you need to get that stuff done. You need to get your podcast done, or you need to get your work done. You need to start building what you need to build. You need to start investing. You need to start whatever it is for you, cooking or your art or whatever it may be that God called you to be. You need to start getting to it and getting people around you. So I was like, that was some good advice. And then the next one said, what was the next one? So it was make sure you have great friends around you. That was my first son said that. Well, my second son said that. And then my third son said, make sure that you're doing, make sure that you're not afraid or you're not scared. Or if you need help, make sure, I hope I'm saying it right. And I hope I'm getting it all right. I don't want to mess it up for you guys. So I want to give you all the points. He said, when you get there, if you're afraid, that's what he said, and you don't understand what's going on, and you need to say, you need to go to God. And I said, huh? I said, so when you get there and you're afraid and you don't understand, you need to go to God and you need to ask questions. And I was like, ooh, when I'm afraid and I don't know what to do, I need to ask questions. And I think that's what he said. But I'm like, these kids are giving her advice to move on, to be better, to strive for the best, to be the best. So after all of that, I said, okay, now it's my turn. My kids have encouraged me. And my friend said, you know why they can do this? Because you've been encouraging them all their lives. You've been putting all of this in them all their lives. So guess what? I got it in me and you got it in you. So if you've been encouraging your kids and you've been giving them all the good advice and you've been telling them all the great things about themselves, why can't we do that for ourselves? Why can't we put that in ourselves? And when we can't, and when we don't have the strength to do it, are we putting the right people in our life to do that? And the right people in our lives, sometimes we like, okay, if they're telling me all the good things, those are the right people. And when I say the good things, or like they're not the people that can give you tough love too. The ones that can tell you, you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing today. You're not moving today. Today I called one of my friends and I said, yeah, I'm doing a podcast today around 10:45, 10:30 to 10:45. At least, of course, I started a little bit later. But she said, I'm going to call you and make sure you did it. Those the kind of friends that you need. Those the ones that you need, the ones that's going to push you and say, why you ain't do it today? Why? And when they do that, don't get mad like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know about me. Like, you need to really say, you know what? These are the friends. And if you have a reason, say, this is what's going on. How can you help me? Or tell them how they can help you. And of course, they're going to ask you because these are the good people that you're putting in your life. So it's a couple things that I did want to talk about, and I'm going to read it real quick. I said when I say she, I'm talking about my baby girl. She encouraged me that you got this and that I had to be a big girl about, and I know that was a quick shift, but I wanted to give you some things before I got off of things that I've learned from that moment and that day, that she encouraged me, because now I'm crying and I'm like, what's going on? My baby just jumped out the car. And I'm like, she encouraged me that I have to be a big girl. I have to go do the things that I was called to do. And I had to just jump out there. And it reminded me of her just throwing that backpack out that door. That lunchbox out the door, saying, let's take a leap. Let's see. He said that this is what you're supposed to do. And I know my father-in-law say, if I don't know if we say, but if I tell you something, and this just reminds me of fathers, If I tell you something and I'm wrong, then let me take it. And I believe that then I'm responsible for that. And I believe that when God tells me to do something and I do it and it doesn't end up like, sometimes we want to end up like we wanted to end up and God already has a plan. But if it doesn't, if you end up in a space, he's going to take care of it. And he's going to take care of you and every situation that's connected to it. So he said, just jump, just leap. She didn't care if that when that lunchbox went out the thing, she didn't care if the juice was going to be messed up. She didn't care. She was ready to go. She didn't care if that sandwich was, but she said, I'm about to jump out this car and I'm about to go be great at something. I don't know what it's about to be like, but I know that this is the next step for me. And I know this is where I'm supposed to be in this moment. And so this is me today, jumping out and saying, this is where God called me to be. This is where I'm supposed to be in this moment. And this is where I'm going to be. And I'm jumping out and I'm leaping out of my being scared, of being not so scared, but not knowing. I was scared before, but now it's not knowing but trusting God, not knowing the unexpected, not knowing what this is going to bring, not knowing what this is, but knowing that this is where I'm supposed to be and trusting that God's going to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of in the rest of the stuff. So the next thing I learned was, she said, she let me see how easy it is to try to do things, how easy it is. She let me see how easy it is to try to do things by yourself. It looks easy to do stuff by yourself, right? But she still needed me to walk her down that street. And sometimes, like I said before, we're still going to need our friends to walk us down that street. We're still going to need, if you believe in God to hold your hand through that space. You're still going to need that thing. And she was just like, I got it. But if I would have let her just fall out and trip over everything and just fall to the ground, God, I had to realize that God doesn't do that to us. He doesn't just, unless we choose to do it our own way, then that's a whole different conversation. That's another thing. But he doesn't, for me, I'm going to say for me, he doesn't just let me just not. He'll always say, Jess, I'm thinking, let me come in. Let me help you a little bit. Let me jump in there. So, yes, I learned that a lot of people just try to jump out there by themselves and try to do it alone. And I watched my baby girl in that season, but that was where it was for me to train her. You don't have to do this by yourself. We can do this together. It's so much more joy in doing it together. It's so much more. You get to watch people grow and everybody get to walk in and see you become who you need to be. If I would have just stayed in the car and just let her walk down the street by herself, I didn't get to see her grow into who she's going to be next. I didn't get to walk in her space and watch her smile at the door and wave by. And she got in there. Let me tell you. She got in there and I said, no, she's good. She don't have breakfast. He said, I need breakfast. I said, excuse? Like, she said, I got this, but I want to speak up. And I'm like, ooh. I said, today is a lesson after lesson after lesson. We got to speak up what's ours, what's for us. We got to say, you know what? This is mine. I'm going to take it. Don't just start leaving stuff on the table and saying, you know what, that's mine, but I'm just not going to take it because I don't want to get in other people's way. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's for them, it's for them. If two people have to do the same thing, we're two different people that we're going to do it differently. It's like, it's something about your own, like it's something about you that's different from, no two people are alike. So the way you're going to do it is going to be one way, and the way they're going to do it is going to be a different way, and they're going to bring a whole different light to it. So don't be afraid because, oh, my sister's an artist, but so am I, and I'm not going to do it because she's a better artist. She might be an artist and one, like I might like this art and somebody else might like this art. So I'm not going to not do what I was called to do because, oh, no one's going to look at, let's go for me. They already got podcasts for women to be encouraged. Why should I do it? What can I bring? Why do I need to do this? I'm asking God, like, what am I doing this for? But some people can hear from me, and then some people might hear from somebody else. And I'm okay with that. But it's somebody that, even if it's the one person that I have to speak to, just to encourage, to tell them that, you know what, today is your day. Today you're going to do great. You have greatness in you. Then I want to be that person, just if I got to just get that one person, that one subscriber, that one listener, that one person that would show up. Then it was all worth it for me. If I only had one person to show up because I was called to do this, then I must keep doing it until there's no more people showing up. And then you know what? I might still do it. I might still have to show up. I'm sorry. I gotta show up. If you just don't show up anymore and watch any more videos, I still have to show up. And one more thing, and it's not the final thing that I learned, and I'm gonna read this real quick. If you are not going to jump out there, how would you know if it's supposed to be something that you're supposed to do? How do you know? If I just sit back and I did not one podcast and I just helped not one person and I just did nothing, well, I'm not going to do nothing, but if I did other things just to be busy, how would I know? If I don't leap out like my little girl threw that lunchbox out and was ready to jump out that car, if I don't leap like that, then I won't know. If she didn't get out that car that morning, she wouldn't know if she really liked the next level or the next season or the next thing. And of course, when I picked her up, she loved it. I mean, every 20 minutes, when am I going back? And I think that's what we're going to miss if we don't take that leap. I miss not showing up for podcasts. I miss not being able to encourage you and maybe skip over my words and give you a whole bunch of stories. But I miss that time. And things are always running through my mind, like, how can I help today? And he started giving, I was like, ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. But because I didn't take the time to do it, if I don't take the time to do it, then it's just going to be stuff that's just going to just be playing in my head, and no one will ever know. And people will still be encouraged, but by other people. But I just feel like I'm called to do this, and I want to be able to encourage you, and I hope I encourage you today. So, one thing I do want to ask you to do, like I always ask you to do something, is take a leap. Figure out what you are supposed to be doing and just try it. I used to tell my kids, don't try me, try Jesus. And I believe that. Like, don't try me, try Jesus. Like, don't listen to nothing I say if you don't want to, but listen to me. But don't try me, try Jesus. Jump out there. See what happens. See if anything occurs. And if it don't, sometimes we get if it don't happen today, then that's it. I'm gonna just try it one time. And if it doesn't work, or if I don't get the money that I'm looking for, or if I don't get this is one more cute story. Because you have to know what I'm about to say. My baby girl again, she said, you know what? She said, I don't even know what she said, but she was like, I really just am so sad. And somebody said, oh, it's okay. You're going to be okay. And then my second son was like, she doing that for the awe. And we were like, for the awe? He was like, yeah, so you can say, aw. So if you don't do it for the awe, but do it. Try it. And see how it works. Let me know. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you jumped out there and you tried. And let's do it together. Let's see how this go. I'm going to tell you how this go. I'm tell you how some other stuff go that I do, and let's see if it happens. Let's just, what I just told you, let's try Jesus. Don't do it for the odds, try him. Let's just try him and see how it go. All right, guys. I love you so much. I will be back. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Y'all gonna see me every week at this point. If you don't, start reaching. Where you at? What's going on? And then check on me. Hold me accountable. Y'all got me? All right. See you guys in a little bit. Love you guys. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you got anything from it, please share it with someone you think it will bless. And make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to the Christyn Show right here on YouTube. You can download the audio-only version by subscribing to the show on most major podcast platforms. Also, make sure you check out our links in the comments below for more ways to engage with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Christyn Show.